What have you seen on film so far from the Lions in preparation?
Yeah, I've watched a couple games so far. Haven't had a ton of time, but they got a really good front seven. They get after the pass pretty well. They force a lot of turnovers, and so they're really well coached. And they fly around on defense, so it'll be a good matchup.
What about Aidan Hutchinson specifically?
Yeah, he's very talented. He's playing like a vet, and I think this is his second year, but he's about as talented as they come. He's able to do a great job of rushing the passer and playing defense. So he's definitely one of those guys you have to be aware of wherever he's on the field.
Did you guys like the different travel schedules, staying over Monday night and then flying back Tuesday, or do you not really have a preference?
Yeah, I thought either way, it would have worked. I thought it was great because we were all on the same page and we communicated it and talked about it and knew what the plan was going forward. So as long as we were all on the same page, I thought that was important for us.
Just a game like the other night, when it's setting up defensively and as the game's progressing, as a quarterback in a game like that, what's your mindset, or what are you thinking? Just take care of the ball, just kind of be patient. Like, what are you, as you're sort of processing, trying to be as effective as you can be?
Yeah, games like that can be frustrating. That's a really good defense, and we would have loved to have moved the ball better to score a bunch of points, and it didn't go our way. But for us, it's important to stay together, stick together, do everything we can to convert those third downs, get the ball moving, and be smart and safe with the football, and to understand that a punt on fourth down isn't a terrible thing. That's a really good defense that we're going up against, and as long as we're not turning the ball over and we're doing our best to score in the red zone and to create explosives, that's all you can ask for.
Is it tough to stay patient in those situations?
No, I think it's great that we've got such a great supporting cast around us. Coach Nuss and Kellen, Stick, and Max, they've done a great job on the sideline just talking with us exactly what we're seeing, talking about the upcoming drive. So to have those guys on the sideline, being able to communicate with them, I think that's really helpful.
Justin, to have a game like that, but also to see your defense and your special teams come through in such a big way, is that providing the confidence, or was that due for the entire team, just to know you guys can win in multiple ways?
Yeah, I think we've had confidence in both of those aspects of our team the entire time. It is great to see, a special teams touchdown like that, and to be able to get some turnovers and start with the ball inside their red zone. I think that helps the offense out a ton. There are definitely things that we could have done a lot better to be able to drive and get the ball moving offensively. But the defense and the special teams, they helped us out a ton that game.
I know momentum really only lasts up until the next kickoff, but do you feel like you guys are starting to figure out ways to win games when it's not all going perfect all the time?
I think that's part of the NFL, is to understand ways to win the games, and however it happens, whether it's on the ground or whether it's through the air, whether it's the defense or the offense, you're doing your best to have all three phases work together and work at their best. But it's tough. It's the NFL, and those teams that you're playing up against are good too. They're paying their guys a lot too. So you got to find a way to put your team in position to win, and I think our coaches have done that.
Just so far this season, including on Monday night, just protecting the football, you guys are like second in the league in turnover rate. That's something that you've always talked about since pretty much the day you got here, just how important that is to you. Like, how satisfied are you with that part of the offense, and how much confidence does it give you to know that, like, you guys, even if you're having some struggles, are protecting the ball at a high level right now?
Yeah, I think it's huge because you always talk about creating explosives, limiting turnovers, and scoring in the red zone. And if you're able to limit those turnovers and the defense is causing some turnovers like that, you're going to get some huge advantages on offense. And so for our defense to come up with some big turnovers like that, and for us to protect the ball, be smart with it, and at worst punt on fourth down, I think that's good offensive strategy.
Do you feel like that part of the offense is sustainable? Because at the end of the day, like, some of the fumble luck is out of your hands. Like, you got hit from behind on that play, ball's right in front of you, like it's an oblong-shaped ball, could have bounced in any direction.
Yeah.
So when you look at that, like, obviously you can mostly control the interceptions, but you guys have only lost 2 of 9 fumbles this year. Do you feel like it's sustainable, and how much of that is maybe out of your hands when you do look at the turnovers?
You can do your best to limit them. I don't think there's been a team that has avoided all turnovers. I think that's part of the game too. You're going up against some really good defenders, and so things are going to happen like that. And it's all about how you react. But if you do your best to be strong with the football, have 2 hands on the ball in the pocket, make smart decisions, and trust your guys around you, I think you can do your best to limit those.
Justin, Keenan Allen specifically, what has he meant to you as a receiver?
He's done everything. He's an incredible leader of our team. He's an incredible receiver, and the way he's led, the way he's taught those younger receivers, he means the most to this team. And to have a guy like that around, and for as much success as he's had in the league, he means the world to our team.
In film review, you probably saw his catch that got the 10,000-yard mark. What was your reaction to seeing that catch again?
Yeah, not surprised. He's made those plays his entire career. I would have loved to have given him a better ball, maybe one where he's able to run with it, but the pocket got tight. I could have made a better throw, and so I never had a doubt that he was going to come down with it. Just being able to throw the ball up and understand that he's going to go fight for it and he's going to make a play, it makes my job a lot easier.
Where do you feel like your chemistry is at with Quentin? You were able to hit him on that third down in the fourth quarter on Sunday. He's had, I think, 6 catches over the last 2 weeks. Just where do you feel like your chemistry is in terms of that development? We talked a lot about sort of how that's sort of a process with any young receiver coming in.
Yeah, I think it's only going to get better. The past couple of weeks we've done our best to get him the ball, and he's a talented, special player, and we got to find more ways to get him the ball, whether it's in space or whether it's fly sweeps and things like that. But the more reps we get together, the more time we get, the more we're going to feel comfortable with each other, and the more he's going to get the ball. So we know how talented he is. It's just a matter of time.
How much has Austin changed the offense since he's been back?
Yeah, he's about as good as it gets to have a guy like that out of the backfield who's able to catch and run. It opens up our offense, and to see all the things that he's done over the course of his career, we're not surprised at all the success that he's had too.
Feels like you guys have been getting into a decent amount of empty sets, whether when you get to the line of scrimmage or sort of motioning into it. As a quarterback, do you like those kinds of formations, and what does that allow you to do when you sort of spread it out like that offensively?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think you're able to kind of see the defense. It gives advantage to the offense because everything's spread out. You kind of see what the defense they're in, and as well you get to utilize your running backs out of the backfield. You get to put them out wide, and a guy like Austin Ekeler who's able to catch the ball really well. You get to give him a shot to go out and run a route and do something special. So, I think it is a big part of our offense, and we're looking forward to doing more of that.
Is that a newer thing with Kellen, or did you feel like it's kind of similar amount as you guys were doing previously under Joe? Or?
Yeah, I think it's always been there. I think it's just kind of one of those game plan type things where you go into a game and say, hey, we might have more empty this week, but it's just a week-to-week basis.
So when you were getting into it against the Jets, was it more like obviously their pass rush was getting home? Was it a way to maybe try and mitigate that a little bit, get the ball out quickly, or what was sort of the thought process there in terms of getting it empty a little bit?
Yeah, I think there are a few trains of thoughts on that. Getting the ball out quickly, spreading out the defense, seeing what they're in, and just doing your best to kind of switch up, run, pass, shotgun, play action. So it's just another way to work in pass paths.
So do you feel like over the course of your time here, especially this year, do you think you've taken the lead, in yourself as being a leader on the team, having command of the locker room and huddle, or being vocal at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think every year we're getting better at it. Every week is an opportunity to get better and to become a better leader, better teammate, better quarterback. And we've done a great job of being supportive and working together on that. So I feel like we have taken a big step on that.
For you, do you feel more comfortable being in front of the team at all and then speaking up, for certain things?
Of course.
And why did that come? Just with experience, or?
Experience, time, just learning and going through it, and being in the league for 4 years now, and kind of understanding your role and your responsibility as a quarterback. It hasn't been easy, but I always look forward to the challenge.
And I just have to ask the regular finger question: Are you still in pain? Have you made progress, or where are you at with the finger?
Yeah, it's getting better. Getting better every day. We're coming up on 6 weeks, so the bone will be healed pretty soon, and still taking care of it, doing everything I can to be safe out there. But the trainers have done a great job handling that, so I appreciate that.
So still a sweat, probably.
Yeah, I would assume. We haven't looked that far ahead, but that's something to address this week.
Do you ideally get out of the splint at some point this season?
Yeah, I think the hope is, I think the bone generally tends to heal in 6 weeks or so. So after that, I think you're probably pretty safe.
So you're right on that 6 weeks then?
I would have to look at the dates, but I think we're pretty close.
And the last couple of weeks without the glove, was that because the bone was healing and you were feeling better, or was that just like after what happened with the Frankenstein glove?
Yeah, I think it was just because the glove didn't work, so we had to switch it up. We had to go back to the drawing board, and we figured out something that worked.
And so the last couple of weeks has been, I guess, better structurally for you in terms of like the splint and everything?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
No issues with the grip?
Tape and the splint, so there hasn't been any issues with the grip, and it's gotten better with strength-wise, so it's been good.
Justin, at the mid-season point, With expectations for this offense and everything, where do you feel like it is? Any disappointment, or where do you feel like the state of the offense is?
Yeah, I think we're exactly where we are. And, you know, we've got a lot of football left, and we've got a lot of guys that we believe in. And, you know, we're looking forward to the challenge and the opportunity of playing football and understanding that, you know, we could have done a lot of things better, but there are a lot of good things that we did offensively this year. And so we're going to build on that, do everything we can to correct the errors and mistakes, and to keep moving forward.